The old house stood on a hill overlooking the town, its windows like vacant eyes. It had been empty for as long as anyone could remember. A local legend whispered among children, and a source of uneasy silence for adults. For Liam, a budding paranormal investigator, it was the perfect subject for his next video. He packed his geary EMF meters, a thermal camera, and a high-sensitivity audio recorder and headed out as dusk began to bleed across the sky. The front door creaked open with an unnerving ease. Inside, dust danced in the beams of his flashlight, and the air was thick with the scent of decay and something else. Something faintly sweet, like forgotten perfume. He set up his equipment in the main living room, where a grand fireplace stood cold and silent. "Hello?" He called out, his voice sounding small in the vast empty space. "Is anyone here?" Only the groan of settling wood answered. Hours passed. The EMF meter remained silent, the thermal camera showed nothing but cold spots, and the audio recorder picked up only the sighing of the wind outside. Liam started to feel a bit foolish. Maybe it was just an old creaky house after all. He began packing his gear, a little disappointed. That's when he heard it. A faint, melodic humming coming from upstairs. His heart hammered against his ribs. He grabbed his camera and slowly climbed the grand staircase, each step groaning under his weight. The humming grew louder, leading him down a long hallway to a closed door at the very end. He reached out a trembling hand and pushed it open. The room was a child's nursery, eerily preserved. In the center, a rocking horse swayed back and forth on its own. The humming was coming from a small music box on a dusty dresser. He filmed the rocking horse, his breath catching in his throat. As he panned the camera around the room, he caught something in the reflection of the nursery window. A figure standing behind him, small, a child. He froze, his blood turning to ice. He slowly turned around, but the room was empty. The humming had stopped. The rocking horse was still. He scrambled to gather his things and fled the house, not stopping until he was safely in his car, speeding away. Back in his apartment, he shakily loaded the footage onto his computer. He had to see it again to believe it. He played back the moment in the nursery frame by frame. He saw himself enter the room, he saw the rocking horse move, he saw the reflection in the window. But as he looked closer at the reflection, he noticed something horrifying. The figure of the child in the reflection wasn't standing behind him. It was standing right next to him, its small, pale hand resting on his shoulder. He looked down at his own shoulder, but there was nothing there. But he could still feel the faint, cold pressure of where its hand had been. He was no longer alone, and he had brought his new friend home.